Hello, everybody. I'm Martino Puccio here for the Mayo Media Network. I also work for The Athletic doing betting and gambling, whatever the hell you want to call it, for Serie A, the Euros, for the Champions League, everything that you could almost possibly name. I pretty much do it for The Athletic. So I'm here and happy to help preview Saturday, June 19th matches for Euro 2020. Before we get into all of that, I'd just like to ask you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell to get ready for some of these other preview videos that we will be doing all tournament long. So let's get into it. Second match day for these groups. Let's head on over to the group of death. Hungary versus France. France were just absolutely fantastic against Germany. Let's just get that out of the way. The tournament favorites look like the tournament favorites heading into Germany. They could have had 3 goals. Some of them were taken back by slight offside chances by Kylian Mbappe. And again, with that, they did allow an own goal, but talk about an amazing tackle by Mats Hummels on Kylian Mbappe, who just sneaks behind defenses so easily. And he's just one of the best players in the world for a reason. So don't get scared off by that 1-0 scoreline. Like France a lot here. Hungary, they did some decent things for most of the match. Portugal mostly wasteful in that first half in Budapest, but you're not going to see more of the same with France. I think France is going to come in here with the beat down. They made out like bandits when they faced Germany. They get the 3 points here. They're looking fantastic and in shape to win the group because Portugal is going to have a tough one when they head over to face Germany. So let's look at some of the scores here and bets that we could look at. So Mbappe to score plus 108. I think I'm taking it. I love what I saw from him. He's going to want to get on the score sheet. He's just absolutely phenomenal. The only risk in this, in my opinion, is him getting subbed out if he doesn't score, if the scoreline goes up, because they might want him healthy and rested against Portugal to solidify that win against them when they face off against them. So Kylian Mbappe to score plus 108, it's still a little bit on the plus side. But again, when you have a player like that, it's just so hard to say no when you see that line. And heading over to both teams to score, we're going to go with no for minus 177. And we say this simply because France's defense was so stout against a German side that has an infinitely better attack than Hungary has in general. Hungary really didn't create all that much for Portugal at all. Just bet nothing against them. We love the bet of 0 points for Hungary throughout the group. It looked like they had a dying chance against Portugal, and then they imploded. I think that kind of carries over into this match. So they're not going to score in this. For me, France is going to win 2-0. So look up that bet as well if you want that. And finally, final bet that I like within this match. It's a little chalky, but it feels very safe. France to win and both teams not to score. France is obviously on the triple money line, in which you take it with this, and both teams to score, as I just mentioned. That was at minus 177. This one's going to come in and the same game parlay at minus 117. Why I like this? France is just going to beat down on Hungary. We know that already. Let's use it towards our advantage within a match here, and we're going to put it in a parlay, and that parlay is for Hungary to not score while France obviously scores because we're picking them to win. So with that, we have 3 bets that we like. If you like anything else, other goal scorers, Karim Benzema, Antoine Griezmann, other guys that you could look in towards it. If you think Kylian Mbappe is going to be the first goal scorer, plus 340 is one of the numbers that are over there as well. All right, moving over to the final match of the group of death, Portugal versus Germany. This one's going to be a real tough one to cap. I think this one can go either way in terms of all 3 of the money lines. I thought Germany played okay against France, but France were clearly on another level, which we think in general. For Portugal, they kind of continued that trend of struggling out of the gate. We talk about England all the time not doing so hot out the gate. Portugal's another one of those countries, but they scored 3 goals. Regardless if one was a penalty, regardless if there was a deflection involved, they were creating chances. And as the match went on, after those subs were made by Fernando Santos, you saw a different side in Portugal. Maybe you see Diogo Jota not start in this one because he was a pretty wasteful player. And Diogo Jota is just not someone that you could rely upon at this point because some of those confidence issues can carry over into the next matches. And if we have some concern about a player, we're just going to stay away from him, right? Because it's just the best way to go is to be a safe better in this. And for me, kind of staying away from him. If he does start, then we could have another conversation with that. But if a player like an Andre Silva were to eventually get a start within this match, then I kind of like and would lean towards Portugal. But again, Wait for those lineups to come out. We'll see it on Twitter at the same time. Germany did some good things, right? When their substitutes came on last game against France, you could see a little bit of that. Tony Kroos still played a solid match. Mats Hummels, although he allowed that own goal, he still did enough to save a goal where they kept Germany in that match 1-0 on one of the best tackles you'll ever see against Kylian Mbappe. It was truly magnificent. Both teams to score, though. We know Germany could get a little desperate, and we know what it takes for a team to get into the next round is that they need points. Yeah, they'll probably get those 3 points against Hungary, but if they can get anything out of this, I think they're going to be pressing forward and eventually scoring. Same thing with Portugal, because it is a group of death. They already got Hungary. They got 3 goals up on it, but they're going to have to play France in the final game. So I like both teams to score in this one at -129. But again, if you like something to go down with a side to win with this, so you look at the triple money line, we're going to stick with the same game parlay. Both teams to score, yes. And Portugal to win the game is at +525. Or if we like that, but with Germany to win in this game, it's at +375. You can go and put down a draw if you'd like to, but that isn't that much fun. Is it really? We like to pick winners in this, but again, your money, if you want to feel safe going in a certain direction, then you do that. Portugal's already coming in as the underdog in this, and I think it's a hell of a bet to go in and take. Listen, this one is going to be tight throughout the entire match. Don't be shocked if it does end up in a draw. But if you want some juice and if you want some money to win, these are some of the bets you could look at. But for me, the safest one in general is both teams to score at -129. All right, let's get into it. Final match of the day on Saturday, June 19th, Spain versus Poland. Spain, we're feeling pretty confident about them. Lackluster finishing performance as we could have expected from Alvaro Morata in Spain. Let's call it what it is, right? They dominated possession, had some real key chances, could not finish them. Sweden's goalkeeper, Robin Olsen, was fantastic in this, and a lot of AS Roma fans that had hands up in the air because they'd never seen anything like that from him on the club level. Players play different when they're playing for their country, and he's just one of those guys, as was highlighted in that match. Listen, disappointing result for Spain. Sweden was always going to be a tough game. They played it, tightened it throughout, absolutely compact. Spain was holding at 1.90% of the possession. But that's a great thing, right? Because you have a lot of the ball, you're going to have a lot more chances. The only issue with that is this. If you don't score, all that possession means absolutely nothing, right? We know these aren't the teams of Spain of yesteryear in the last decade where they won 3 consecutive international tournaments at an all-time high level. But they're still a pretty damn good team, and they should be the favorite to win this group. Poland could not have probably played a worse second half than they did against Slovakia. It's tough for them right now. Robert Lewandowski only has 1 goal in the Euros in his career, and this is supposed to be one of the greatest strikers of all time. We're talking about service lacking. We're talking about confidence lacking within Robert. So with that, I really don't love Poland in this one. Spain has to get a win here if they want to put themselves in a better position to win this group. I think Poland will be desperate. They're going to be keeping this one closer than most would anticipate, including myself. But for me, I just can't trust them after seeing what I saw against Slovakia. I think they might, after that first match day, are the worst team in the group. So for me, I really don't trust them. The total being under 2.5 here, Spain's going to hold on to that possession. Poland has a worse midfield, in my opinion, than Sweden does. So it's going to be tough for them to get the ball back. With that, I think Spain isn't going to score a lot. If there's a lot of goals in this one, I just don't see it. Call me out for it in the comments section. Tell me I'm wrong for that. And tell me how many goals you think are going to be in this match. But for me, the total being under 2.5 at +110 is something I really like to look forward towards. Other than that, there isn't anything I really love too much within this matchup. I think Spain is eventually going to win it. If you want to parlay Spain and France within there, maybe that's a decent, sexy one you want to go with for some easy money, but it's very chalky. But again, all up to you with that. I think Spain's going to be taking this one home, so we'll see how that goes. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for June 19th matches for Euro 2020. Again, let us know in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see some of the picks I tweet out, follow me on Twitter at Martino Puccio as well, as you've seen in the graphics below. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.